You're listening to Bigfoot Club podcast, Cryptid Sports Entertainers for Life.
Hey man, what's up?
What's going on?
How are you doing?
Bigfoot Club, season 77, episode 77.
Why are you saying 77?
I don't know,
That's a good year though. The Cowboys won the Super Bowl that year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We did a lot today.
Did a lot of yard work.
Yep.
Did a lot of
Cleaning and rearranging the office here, podcast room.
Yeah, we got a little bit more room in here now.
Yeah, it looks like, it just looks a whole lot better.
We just got to do something about this table.
Yeah, before we started the episode, we spent about 20 minutes trying to get the mic stands to really get a good grip on this table. This table is like, what do you call these kind of tables? Like,
This is like a plastic 4-foot table, like a fold out
for like one of those tables you use like, to eat outside.
Or you want to do like a Girl Scout cookie stand outside of a store,
or like doing like outside of, like you said, outside of a store, like, trying to get people to donate to charity. Anyway, we're how many seasons in?
Season 6.
Yeah, we're 6 seasons in, or at least with this episode, 6 seasons in, and we're still in the struggle bus, but hey, we're still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I we've picked up some momentum whenever I guess I got out from being sick.
Yeah,
we picked up some momentum when we lost some 2 co-hosts. I think we tripled our downloads, but now we're kind of plateaued a little bit, and it's okay. Would I like a lot of people to download our show? Yes, absolutely, but. Right now, I think we're steady. We kind of plateaued a little bit, but at the same time, I think we started off as a Bigfoot podcast or cryptid sports entertaining thing, and we've kind of delved into other stuff. We kind of we've kind of hit some paranormal stuff. We've hit some UFO stuff, and we've hit some like mysterious murders and
kind of religious stuff too.
Yeah,
dreams.
So
UFOs, portals.
Yeah, so I mean, we've kind of, and maybe some of the hardcore Bigfoot people don't like that, and they kind of stray off and say, "I don't want to listen to this show. I thought this show was supposed to be about Bigfoot."
Yeah,
Sasquatch.
I will say this, and you can incorporate it to everything you believe in, whether it's UFOs, skinwalkers, or anything like that. You can have that as your tree, but there's many branches to that tree that is related to that. So ours is Bigfoot, big old tree, but there's branches that tie into it.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. That's how other people should view it.
Yeah,
they're part of the paranormal.
There's so many things, now, because I'll just say this. When I first started, I've always been interested in lots of stuff as a kid growing up, but I would say it leaned more toward Bigfoot. And as I got into Bigfoot research actually with a group, and then I left, started doing stuff on my own, I started talking to more and more people. You just hear other stories. You hear other stories, and you can't dismiss it. And a lot of times, half of the times whenever you do research and you do stuff, investigations, you come out with more questions than you do answers a lot of times. So, what does it mean? I don't know, but I just like to be a part of it.
Yeah, like why was I able to witness this?
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get our downloads up and all that stuff, but
If not, we're still going to keep doing it.
Yeah, we actually have some good.
We have some hardcore fans.
That
hardcore. You want some more?
Yep, that really listen to the show and really appreciate what we bring to the table. In this case, this table right here,
the table that doesn't hold the mics well.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm afraid to move the stand because I feel like it's just going to pop off.
Yeah,
and I'm just going to be holding the mic like I'm hosting a show or something.
So I don't really have. Did you hear something?
Yeah, I heard talking. Oh, crap.
Take a break. He's looking at the camera. The boys are asleep. Are they awake?
Oh, they're asleep.
Is it someone outside, you think?
Maybe.
Because our studio's like right next to the window.
Yeah.
Could be someone just walking by.
That's probably what it was. Or Blair is probably out there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, back to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the station at hand.
Yep.
We did a show recently. I don't know when I'm going to... Actually, I'll just say this. I don't know when I'm going to actually post this podcast, but we did a show recently with my friend John Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a very religious man. And he had some good insights on dreams and stuff, which I thought were really, really, it touched, it affected me, affected you, some of the stuff that he was talking about, and it affected our lives a great deal. So how did you feel about that episode?
I like it. I like talking about dreams because dreams are, I don't know. There's some people out there that don't believe in like dreams and like meaning, like let's just say this, like for instance, like if you lose somebody, they don't believe in loved ones coming back and talking to you through dreams like and I get that, like maybe they're not allowed to do that. I don't know how the whole heaven thing works. Nobody does unless you're there.
Yeah, nobody really has all the answers.
No, but I do believe that, we get guardian angels, and sometimes those guardian angels can be our loved ones that passed. And sometimes if they want to tell us something, they, whether it be our mind or something that our mind needs to tell us, I don't know. I believe in that whole communication thing.
Yeah.
Because if there's evil that tries to give you nightmares, which in this case, I believe in that. I think there's good. There's, good people or good spirits that will try to communicate with you through dreams. There's a lot of unexplained dreams, meanings and all that stuff.
There's lots of stuff. There's spectrums of light. There's frequencies. There's astral plane. There's lots of stuff. I mean, whenever you're in a dream state, I think you're able to kind of touch all those
because when you go to
spectrums.
When you go to sleep, that's the closest you're going to be to death.
Yeah.
Your mind is at a turned off yet turned on at a certain frequency or certain state. You go into REM sleep, and REM is like another channel, and if it's all aligned right, you get something happens, whether it be nightmares or dreams of loved ones or messages you don't know. So I really liked doing that episode with John. I think he has a awesome voice too. It's very calm and warming, even though he thinks differently. And I think what I heard, I think it's your chair.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was somebody talking, but it's your chair.
I need to spray it or something.
Switch the other one. But no, I would like to have John on again. Like it's he has some really, really good insight on that.
Yeah. But good deal.
Yeah.
I really liked him a lot. We're supposed to I think get Caitlin Gonzalez on. And she's got some really good ghost stories. And I've been trying to get her on for a while, and so I think she finally agreed to do a show. So we're gonna do that. I'm pretty excited about that. So
yeah.
So today I got a couple of stories. I guess some AI stories that we could go over. Some are paranormal, some are Bigfoot, and so we can just like play them and just talk about them as we go. I don't know which one I'm gonna pick first. There's a couple. There's like 4 Bigfoot stories, and there's probably like 3 ghost stories. And these are...
I was gonna say, go to sleep, have a dream, and that dream will tell you which one to pick. So we're gonna do a live experiment here.
The Bigfoot stories, I'll just say this, and I don't like to promote them, but I'm going to have to because the Bigfoot stories are from the BFRO website. It's the most recent sighting reports. And this other one is www.yourghoststories.com. And so this one has some good stories. Some of them are current, some of them are not. So I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna surprise you.
You gotta give credit to the artist, because you will rule this day. You gotta.
Yeah, we can talk about that really quick. There's a guy that because on the Bigfoot page I post the podcasts, and then I post like 6 pictures a day. Some are paranormal, some are like the majority of them are like Bigfoot, and some of them are artwork. And so I try to give credit where credit's due because that's just how I am. If I find artwork, from someone that posts it, I try to. If they post like the artist creator, I'll copy it and I'll try to tag it and try to give them credit for it. Like our good friend Jonathan Dodd. Every time I put his name, put his link. And there's this one particular dude. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to give him credit. I don't want him.
You're doing it again.
Yeah. So he has some artwork. It's decent. It's decent. I'll say that it's decent. But he doesn't sign his work, or he doesn't sign his work well, where it's legible, or he doesn't post it anywhere where he says, "Hey, this is my artwork." So I do the Google search and I try to find artwork, and a lot of times I do. A lot of times I have to search it and find it, and it's usually like on DeviantArt or something, or like some kind of art page or something. Yeah, and it'll have the person's art on there, and it has the person's name, and so I'll post it, say, "Hey, this is the person's art. What do you think?" And this one dude, he doesn't sign his stuff, and he sends me he DMs me like a bunch of inflammatory stuff, and he calls me names and stuff, and I don't care about that. That's not a big deal. I get called all kinds of stuff, but I just tell him, I said, sign your fucking work, asshole, and I'll give you credit. And like he writes it like real small, and you can't,
like in a very corner where it's like the coloring is like super dark, faded. Like, come on, dude. Like, And
he threatened me, and that's fine. He can threaten me. I don't care. I get threatened all the time. But
that's just not a way to go about it, dude. I don't know if he listens to the show.
Yeah.
But that's not a way. How I would have done it as a respectable, nice human being that I am. Yeah. I don't know about you, but, if it happened, because you said it happened twice, right? This is the second time?
He's messaged me a couple times.
So the first time I would have been like, "Hey, dude, like."
So okay. The first time I caught it, it was on DeviantArt, or it was on something, and someone had stole his art and claimed it as theirs. And so I posted at that person's.
That's right.
And he messaged me and said, "Hey, dude, this is my art. This guy stole it from me." I said, "Okay, my bad." Yeah. And I corrected it on, I said, "Hey, the correction, this is the correct artist." And
I remember you showing me that.
And I edit that. And ever since then, he has multiple art and stuff. I don't, I said.
What I was going to say is what if I was him, I would have been like, "Hey, I'm just going to send you a folder of my artwork." Yeah. And if you use any of these,
that would be the smart thing to do.
If you use any of these, know that it's from me, and it won't happen again.
I would even post his website too, where you can go get it and buy it.
Yeah,
I would even do that. But
coming to anybody or you or anybody like that saying, saying all these names and curse words. Come on.
He was
2024, dude. And if you're doing art, I'm gonna assume you're an adult. You act like one. Jesus Christ.
So what I did was, he told me to take it down, or I'll rule the day or something.
Yeah, rule the day.
So
okay, hi, Carly.
So this is probably like beneath me to do this, but I didn't take it down.
Yeah,
I didn't take it down. And I took off his name. I was going to put his name on there, but I took it off and I said, "I don't know who did this artwork. It isn't that good anyway."
Yeah.
And I left it up.
Yeah.
And it's still up right now. So
I just don't like when people do that, man.
It's fine.
It's 2024.
Yeah.
Get off your high horse, or whatever horse that you're on that is making you so mad about everything. I'm going to assume he just had a bad day. he spilled coffee on his laptop, or he spilled coffee on his artwork. I don't know.
This what I would do if I was him. I would like do some kind of like watermark on my work.
Yeah.
And then start doing it that way. And he doesn't.
I guarantee you, not many people are going to know how to take that off or edit it out.
Right.
They're going to spend too much time on it. Yeah. No, just be nice. And if you like your stuff, being shared, or, you obviously do because you release it somewhere where someone can get it, right? Yeah. Share the folder to the people who are going to respectfully put it, promote your stuff. That's all I'm going to say on that. It's just, that annoyed me. I was like, really?
He's just being a bitch. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to get to these stories, and these are some AI stories that I did. Not AI, but they're actually real stories, but I used the AI from text to speech. Mm. So, excuse me, man. All right.
I got no ice in there.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So this first one, I'm going to do a paranormal story. Uh-huh. So I'm going to do this one. Let me see here.
By Kathy Fugate. Date, June 26th, 2024. United States, California. Paranormal category, haunted places. Back in 2006, I decided to move out of the Inland Empire. It proved to be a mistake due to numerous issues. I found a decent home that was Spanish style, built in 1993, in the city of Adelanto in the high desert. Shortly after moving in, odd things began happening. My black and white cat, Sylvia, sometimes would sit near the hallway entry and stare down the hallway. It was as if she was seeing something or someone. Each time I would look to see what she was staring at, I wouldn't see anything. Many nights, Sylvia would claw at my bedroom door to get inside with me. It was to the extent of meowing, sweeping her paw beneath the door in a desperate plea. It was so weird. I always let her in, but I didn't understand why she was behaving this way. One day, my son, Glenn, asked me if I left any meat out that could have spoiled. I said no. He was searching through the kitchen for bad meat. There was the smell in the air of rotten, bloody, raw meat. However, there was no source that could be found that could have contributed to the odor. This situation would come and go periodically. You would smell it a few days, then it disappeared and returned a month or two later. Our dog would bark while staring at the rooftop on certain nights. There was also the sound of shuffling of feet around the bedroom carpet sometimes. Other times we would hear the doorknob moving. Things would move on their own, such as hairbrush or toothpaste sliding from one side of the vanity to the other. One night my daughter, Lisa, was jumping rope under the porch light and I heard a blood-curdling scream. As I ran out to her, she was running inside. She was out of breath. She said that she saw something on the roof. A big, hairy and hunched-over something with glowing eyes staring at her. We all experienced strange things that we can't explain at this house. I always felt like someone was right behind me when I walked down the hallway. My cat was obsessed with staring down that hallway. It was a full year of strange occurrences. As soon as I had the chance, I moved back to San Bernardino.
So that was the first story.
That's creepy.
What did you think about that one?
Whenever it was first starting about the saying, like, something was walking across the carpet and then doorknobs were moving and things were being moved, it reminded me of our first apartment in Tulsa. Because remember, whenever I think there was one night where you came into my room and you were all like, I'm having a hard time sleeping. I go, what? Why? I'm just having a hard time sleeping. I'm going to lay in bed. I had a queen size bed, remember?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And you like laid there and you fell asleep. I go, weird. What the heck? So I think those many times where I had a hard time sleeping too, and I went to the living room and the couch, whatever, and that was whenever like literally my first ghost encounter or whatever it was. That door popped open. That door was hard to open. Your bedroom door?
Yeah.
And yeah, something weird happened there. But yeah, no, that's what I was thinking about. Was that?
So the meat, rotting meat smell. That's
different.
That is different. It's almost like a Bigfoot type of thing. And then animals are really good. They're really good gauge to the paranormal or even cryptid stuff. So the cat responding to the door and looking down the hallway and looking up at the roof, that's kind of like validity to what these people are experiencing. So the rotten meat smell, man, that's it could be residual. Someone maybe someone was murdered there. And
a smell could be residual, though.
Yeah, I mean, if someone dies,
I get the perfume, like perfume or
Right.
cigar smoke. But like the rotting flesh thing, like that's like
maybe someone died there that was murdered, and the person who did the murdering left, and that person just like decomposed there. So, and the person that's stuck in that state, I don't know, maybe
that's a terrible.
And then they said something about something hairy with red eyes on the roof. That's
Okay, now what is that? Like
could be a rake. I don't know. It could be a rake. Could be a shapeshifter. Could be lots of stuff. Just could be like could be
because it sounds like a lot of it's like cursed. If you think about it.
Desert stuff, man. Like when I went out to Phoenix to go spend time with Eileen, we walked. She lived right by the desert. We walked, and that was like, she was telling me there's a lot of bodies that get dumped out there.
I was gonna ask you too, because I have it literally like it's the only house there. Was there neighbors?
Yeah, there was it was like a neighborhood. It was like a neighborhood like this one, because you know how this.
Okay, so there was houses next to each other.
Yeah, there was the houses.
Okay.
There was houses next to each other, but it was like we could walk like 3 blocks, and then there's the entrance to the desert. Because like here where we live in a community, and there's fields beside us. There's nothing besides but fields, and so it's kind of like that. You'd walk a couple blocks, and the desert was right there, and then the highway was there. And so most of the desert was run,
but it was like pitch black,
dark. It was, you couldn't even see the hand in front of your face.
How the hell were y'all walking out there without any light?
I had just got a camera. I had got a night vision camera, and I wanted to go test it. That's why I did it.
Were you recording?
Yeah, yeah. I still have it.
Yeah, I don't think you've showed me.
I need to. Yeah.
Show me that. Yeah. I couldn't say if I said that right.
But anyway, that was an interesting story.
Yeah.
So let's jump to a Bigfoot one. And this one has got knocks, orbs, and broken trees. So this one's a BFRO one.
Report number 77139, Class B, submitted by witness on Thursday, April 4th, 2024. Rural homeowner near Batesville notices knocks, orbs, and a big broken tree branch. 2019 winter, January 15th. Mississippi, Panola County. Location. Details. From State Highway 51, take Eureka Road to Crouch Road to Pittman Road. First house on the left about halfway through Pittman Road. Nearest town, Batesville. Nearest road, Pittman Road. After hearing strange sounds in the woods behind my house, I found a small oak tree that had been snapped like a toothpick about 8 feet from the ground, behind my old barn that sits back there. I had been out there the day before, and this tree was fine. If it had been snapped like that, I would have noticed it that day. My son was with me the first day I was out there, but I went back the next day to try and find the things we were looking for the first day. I have pictures and some audio recordings. The night between those 2 days, I was home alone working on some crafting projects. It was very quiet. I don't keep the TV on late night because my dad taught me to listen to the sounds outside since we have always lived in a rural area. The window AC next to my chair makes it easy to hear sounds from outside. I heard some strange knocks. At the time, I didn't think about what it could be, but when I found the snapped tree the next day, it gave me chills. Other witnesses. My son was attending Ole Miss at the time and came over one day to look for some old pictures that I had stored in the barn. He and I were out there that day, and when I went back the next day to continue my search, I noticed the snapped tree, which I knew had not been like that the day before. Other stories. Since then I've heard knocks, screams and chatter. Time and conditions. Nighttime. It was warm for January, and the weather was clear. The tree stood behind my dad's old barn. A very deep creek runs through the back of my property about 600 yards from the barn. Follow-up investigation. After a lengthy phone interview with the witness, I traveled the 5 hours to meet her in person and walk the property. I listened to more stories of possible gifting on her back porch and red lights, eyes, viewing her from the woods across the street. She also has reported seeing whitish orbs floating about the land. I have seen the pics of the white lights, and they are present in the photographs. The tree in her backyard is still there, but with all the other storm-damaged trees from recent tornadoes, it's difficult to differentiate. Her property is very rural with creeks and surrounding forests, but with a few other residents peppered throughout. There is plenty of room for the creatures to roam freely, if they are in fact there. Although I could find no signs of Sasquatch evidence the day I was there, I did find the witness credible. I'm labeling her experiences as Class B. I leave the door open to any further evidence if it should come through. We have talked since, and I'm sending her a small audio recorder to set out in the evenings to see if any growls, howls, or knocks might be captured.
What do you think about that one?
Interesting. I mean,
I am really, really shocked that the BFRO is posting stuff about orbs. Because I don't know if you remember when we interviewed Carter Bouchard. Carter Bouchard used to be a BFRO investigator for some years. And he was under, I guess, under the orders to not post up like that. He got a lot of stories of Bigfoot, with strange paranormal stuff. And orbs, are considered paranormal. So for them to post this, I was shocked. Super shocked. But
I didn't even put two and two together whenever you said this one has knocks, orbs, and it's from the BFRO. Yeah, that's
so. They didn't see a Bigfoot, but they've had he was describing knocks, tree breaks and chatter. And when I used to go up to Kiyomichi, I used to get that all the time. I never saw Bigfoot, but I would we would get slaps on the cabin. We would hear knocks on rock. Like there's a lot of big boulders out there, and they would like pound on the rocks, and then I would hear chatter too. But that one was interesting.
yeah.
So that was Mississippi, I believe. Yeah, but that one was kind of interesting. So
I'm pretty sure I've asked you this. You think the Bigfoot see orbs too?
I wouldn't. I don't know, man. I wouldn't. I'd like to say I wouldn't doubt it because I don't know. There's so much EMF in that area. Like they're attracted to cemeteries. I don't know if they see it as much. Probably get drawn to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and I always believe that they use like those electrical right-of-ways as,
or maybe Bigfoot. You know how we always said that Bigfoots always go to those electric right-of-ways and they get like charged up,
like weaponizing,
it, and then when they go through these cemeteries, like those orbs appear because they it's like you said, like a walking antenna, and maybe they don't interact with each other, but him going by there, or Bigfoot going by there, or a Bigfoot group leader, whatever, they leave like a trail, and that I think, like spirits, they turn into orbs.
Yeah,
it gives them energy, and maybe he does that.
So this one kind of threw me off a little bit because he was saying he was talking, I guess, to the wife or the lady, and she was saying about gifting, like this thing was gifting, and then she would see a Bigfoot, across the road with red eyes. So I don't equate gifting and red eyes as the same thing.
No.
Maybe that it's gifting, and then a pissed off Bigfoot shows up and say, she sees them too. So I don't know, but red eyes, I don't know.
You equate red eyes to something evil?
Yeah, evil or not a nice Bigfoot or something.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But anyway, all right, we're gonna go to a paranormal one. This was in Bangladesh. Sometime.
By Neandar Thunder date, 2024-0709 country, Bangladesh. My first time posting on this forum. I've been experiencing unexplainable phenomena ever since I can remember. I want to engage with opinions from different backgrounds about my experiences. I'm open to discussion, and no opinion you form about it is unwelcome. In any case, I'll skip to the experience itself. I'm about 10 at the time of experiencing this. I grew up with grandparents in rural Mymensing. Theirs was a tin shed house, about 100 meters away from a vehicle-worthy road. The earthen path that connected my grandparents' house to that road wound around a deep pond and went through a bamboo bush. In November of 2011, we were visiting my grandparents. My father had taken me to the bazaar in the evening to buy some groceries, and then sent me back with them and told me to come back with some money because he wanted to gamble with his old friends. While going back to the house with groceries, I heard a sound in the water as I passed by the pond. It was a splash, but a quiet and oddly drawn-out one. I stopped to see what was making that noise. There was a half moon in the sky, but the shadows of the bamboo bush fell on the pond, obscuring my view. But the water rippled and lapped, and whatever had entered the water seemed to move quietly. After straining my eyes for a bit, but able to discern nothing, I concluded that it was some kind of animal and moved on. The wind picked up while I was at my grandparents' house, and when I was going back to my father with the gambling money, the bamboo bushes were too loud for me to hear anything of what was going on at the pond. I stayed with my father and his friends with an hour or so more before starting on my way towards my grandparents' house again. The moon had lowered in the sky now, and the shadows had lengthened. I had to focus fully on the path before me as I walked, so I had not looked at the pond until I heard someone stepping on water. I looked towards the source of that sound, and there she was. A woman sat cross-legged above the water. Her skin was white, pearl white I think. This was a very long ago, and I'm only placing this in retrospect, and seemed to exude a pale white glow. Somehow like moonlight, but there was no way the moonlight reached her where she sat on the pond. Her hair, somehow darker than the shadows in the background, flowed weightlessly in the air. Her whole being seemed to be weightlessly floating above the water, bobbing up and down slightly. I thought her eyes were closed, but when I looked at them I realized that they were just the same white as her skin, and they were trained on me. So I ran. There wasn't anything in my hand, and by some miracle I didn't stumble and fall even once. I ran all the way to my grandparents' house, crying and stuff. They asked me what happened, and after some deliberation, I told them I saw a snake. As a 10-year-old, it was a bit too embarrassing to say that I saw a nude female ghost. I was laughed at for being that scared of snakes anyway. Maybe I should have just told them what I saw. My father came back at around midnight, and he seemed to not see anything. My grandpa died in 2020, and afterwards my grandma decided to drain the pond and fill it up. They found an old lock with some hair tied to it at the spot that I saw her. Maybe that's related. Anyway, that's my experience. What do you think of it? Have you experienced or heard of something similar? I'm excited to see how you interpret what happened.
He's excited.
Yeah.
So, that one,
10 years old.
10 years old, yeah.
Saw a nude ghost.
Floating
Floating.
with white eyes.
Yeah.
So
Not scary at all.
I would just kind of think this one would probably be a lady that was probably murdered or died in that
Yeah, because
pond.
it said there was like a lockbox with her hair in it.
Mm-hmm.
Eesh.
So she's tethered to this pond. And maybe, I don't know, maybe she's just like, during certain cycles of the moon, she comes out.
Yeah, it was what? Was it a half moon?
Yeah, it
What
was,
was
it was a half moon.
Yeah, that's creepy.
I'm willing to bet on this one that this little boy that's now like an adult, he probably has some energies that he doesn't know about.
It's possible.
They probably draw this apparition in the pond out. And
Now, when you see something like that, obviously it'll throw you off. But he said, I don't think he said anything that it wasn't like malicious.
yeah, he said when he first saw it, it was like outside the pond, cross-legged. And then he said it was floating, bobbing up and down. That's just what he said, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And I wonder what would happen if you were to get that lockbox and
yeah,
respectfully dispose of it.
yeah.
Is that what
like bury it or something?
like bury it?
Because I've always believed like water has like some kind of kinetic.
Oh, yeah, I mean you got
Kinetic
that, you got
energy.
the hair, and you got the water right there. It's like unlimited energy, wouldn't you think?
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
absolutely.
She's tied into that, and then there's the water right there. Yeah, that's. I don't know. See, with stuff like that, whenever you find something, what would you do? If you found like a lockbox, like, oh man, you found a lockbox, and you find hair in it.
Yeah.
What would you do at that point?
Number one, I would think it was creepy.
Yeah.
Number two, I don't know. I guess I would
Put it back.
put it back.
Yeah, because you don't want to take that home with you.
No.
So yeah, that's just so. Stuff like that just creeps me out. I get goosebumps.
So yeah, I did these stories. I didn't tell you what I was doing. I just did these stories. I just wanted to surprise you. So
color me surprised.
Okay, we're gonna move to this next Bigfoot story. It's a BFRO story.
Report to Nowanyans 772219, Class A. Submitted by witness Alan and Jackie Moreau on Wednesday, May 1st, 2024. Daylight road crossing sighting of a Bigfoot by 2 witnesses 2 miles south of Plano near Fox River, 2024, spring, April 30th, Illinois, Kendall County location. Details. We were driving southwest. It crossed from the Fox River side of Millhurst near Burr Oak Road, nearest town, Plano nearest road, Millhurst RD, driving south on Millhurst Road near Fox River and Silver Springs Forest. Preserve a large humanoid crossed in front of my truck. It was over 7 feet tall and cleared the road in 3 steps moving fast. There were tall weeds in culvert on either side of road, and when we looked at the place it crossed. No weeds were disturbed, time and conditions. Around 4:30 p.m. environment. Thick woods and few homes in the area. I spoke with the witness, and the following may be added to the report. It was a clear and sunny day. Their height estimate was based on the vehicle's height. Truck. The subject was taller than the truck. A thick coat of dark hair was observed. The road was a 2-lane highway with deep, weedy culverts on both sides. Shoulder width of the subject was 3 feet. The husband is an avid outdoorsman who has never seen anything like this before. Notes by investigator. I spoke with both witnesses also. They are definitely credible, and they are both adamant about what they saw. It was a Bigfoot standing at least 7 feet tall. They are confident locals who don't mind revealing their names, Alan and Jackie Moreau. They remarked how this creature took such long leaps with each stride that there was no grass pushed down next to the road at the point where it crossed, as if it had leaped out from the tree line, crossed the 2-lane road in 3 steps or so, and then leaped across the grass on the other side of the road back into the woods without pushing down grass next to road on that side either. They live only a few miles from this location, and they see deer almost every day. There is a lot of wildlife around there, only 20 miles to the south, with only farmlands in between. There were dozens of sightings of a Bigfoot in LaSalle County near the Illinois River between the 1960s and 2015. Many of those incidents happened near DuPont Road outside Seneca, which gave rise to the term the DuPont Monster.
That one was in daylight, 4:30, which is odd. And this is like notorious of many Bigfoot sightings. This is just always like 90% of the times you hear a story, it's like it's a road crossing, but it's usually at night though.
Yeah, I think this is not our first time hearing a daytime one.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Like that one story where the lady was driving
in Australia,
and was it Australia where the Bigfoot was like at the ditch. And she did the whole like shocked face and then did it back. Was it during the daytime?
I think it was early in the morning.
Okay, well, it was somewhat. And then I feel like there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings with road crossings. Mm-hmm. And if we ever witness that, I'd be mad because this Bigfoot's got to like cross in front of the car and give us like the double birds for ours to stand out.
Yeah.
Because if you just see something like, dang, what did I just? Was it a Bigfoot?
The only description of they said it was large, hairy, took 3 steps, didn't step in the grass where it was on the road,
like it leaped
over. There's no facial features.
Nope.
No description of the head, sagittal crest. No talking about hand movement, nothing. So it's like, this investigator didn't get a lot of detail.
No.
So, Bfro, what's going on, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of peculiar.
Yeah.
So, this is the last ghost story I got here. Ooh. So let's play this one.
Chills down my spine, guys.
Dumb.
By Aussie Red Dog ad. Aussie Red Dog to your favourite people. Date 2024, 7-31 country, Australia paranormal category, apparitions, voices, touches. I decided to take some time away from traffic controlling with my best friend, whose name I am changing over to Heather. Heather and I have a platonic relationship. She's like a big sister to me. I've known her since I was 17. Nearly 40 years now, we've been very close. Heather has this fantastic wee mini foxy named Pippa. You know her from the old church in the woods, this is her. And the three us go adventuring. Anyway, it's about a month back in June. Cold as cold it can get where I live, so we decided to take a week drive out over the border ranges, out towards Tenterfield, where Peter Allen is from, and you must know who Peter Allen is. Going to Rio. Anyway, from where we were it was a good 6.5 hour drive, bar from the traffic controllers, some whom I knew that held us up. We got into town about an hour later than we expected, and stayed the night in one of the local pubs before setting out the next morning. It was late that morning when we found the old cemetery. It was run down, uncared for, but still fascinating. I wondered why this was untended to, since it wasn't that far off the beaten track, just an old, dusty dirt road with partial opened land, but mostly regenerated forest. We wandered around the old boneyard and saw some of the headstones were exposed to the weather, that the names were erased, but dated back to the very early 19th century. Pippa was having a ball sniffing this out, this, and now new smell. Most headstones were now overgrown from lantana and ivy, and lichen. We followed a path and found ourselves what looked to be a children's section, judging by the headstones, which were small, and only had either a name or a year when that child died, mostly stillborn. It was here I suddenly felt a tug on my jacket, like someone was anxiously trying to get my attention. I turned, but there was no one there. I walked on, and again, that tug on my coat. I again turned sharply, quick as I could, but nothing. Might have been the wind, I hear you say, but it wasn't windy enough to tug at my coat. This was a tug from a person, like some child perhaps, playing a game with me. Heather turned and looked at me. You right there? Dunno, thought I... Then I noticed Pippa doing something odd, lying on her back, wagging her tail. Heather, what the fuck is Pippa doing? She turned and saw the same thing. The dog was on her back, looking up at something or someone, wagging her tail, then quickly stood up, still wagging her tail excitedly, and yapped, which she doesn't do normally. She looked over at Heather and I, then looked about for whoever played with her belly, but saw nothing. An idea suddenly occurred, well, more like an experiment to see if she can detect anything for curious old me. I'm no ghost hunter, nor am I interested in being one. But what I had here was a golden opportunity. Heather was against it at first when I told her. No effing way are you using Pippa for some effing fantasy you have with ghosts and goblins. No, I'm not effing letting Pippa to be involved. She finally relented, because she realized that she had to walk back through the graveyard back to the car, which was a fair bit back, and decided to come along and see what happens. We followed Pippa along the now overgrown path, past old, broken headstones and graves, doing her usual doggy thing when she suddenly came to a stop. She sat down before a small headstone. Heather went over and read out loud. I think her name is Amelia, hard to tell, but she was only 7 years old when she died, 1867. Heather looked up at me with tears in her eyes. Such a short life. But why Pippa? Why not? Perhaps she had a dog like her and used to rub bellies with. Who knows? Pippa wagged her tail. Then Heather went looking for some flowers, and soon came back with some banksias and laid upon her grave. I took Pippa's collar off, placed it on the grave, then we left. I guess the moral to this story is not all ghosts are bad.
What do you think about that one?
That one's sweet.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That's a good last story.
So this one, what I thought was kind of funny is that he openly cusses on this one.
Yeah.
And then doesn't cuss when he was...
Is that the AI? Just...
No, that was the story. That was the story.
Huh.
It's spelt out that way. So, but like we were saying before on the other one about the cat, animals are a good source of... And so I'm kind of surprised on this one because, when dogs sense paranormal stuff, they usually bark or growl or whatever, or they stare. For this one, it sounded like this child entity was playing with him, playing with Pippa. And so, and then he's got his jacket being tugged and stuff. So that takes a lot of energy. It's almost like she was drawing them to the back of this area where she was at.
Yeah. I was just about to say that, yeah.
Wow.
The tug and Yep. Just playing with the dog. I mean, the dog, I think it was, I don't think, maybe whenever it said like, maybe she had a dog or something. No, I think the dog noticed her.
Yeah.
And she was like, you noticed me. And
you can see me.
You can see me. And she started rubbing his belly like as a thank you.
That's got to be horrible, though.
That is horrible. That's why I said it's a sweet story and kind of sad. But yeah, no, like she was trying to get his attention.
Yeah.
And he was giving but he couldn't see her.
Right.
But she saw the dog probably, and the dog was like, hey, I see you. Very good one. I like that one. That was a good little story.
Yeah, I like that one too. So let's go with another Bigfoot story.
Okay.
So this will probably be the last one we're gonna do.
Report 77528, Class A. Submitted by witness Becky Schindler on Wednesday, August 7th, 2024. Important location, road crossing Sasquatch, spotted by 2 witnesses, 15 miles west of Dayton, show printer-friendly version, 2023. Winter, December 23rd, Ohio, Montgomery County. The incident occurred on Farmersville, West Alexandria Road, FWA Road, near Bull Road. The location is roughly halfway between Farmersville and West Alexandria, right where Tom Run Creek meets FWA Road. The road's direction is not north-south, but rather northwest-southeast. The Sasquatch crossed from the northeast side to the southwest side, heading south. Nearest town, Farmersville, Ohio. Nearest road. It crossed Farmersville, West Alexandria Road near Bull Road. My mother-in-law Phyllis Schindler and I were driving home from Germantown, Ohio, after being at Land of Illusions in Middletown, Ohio. We were on the back roads. It was on Saturday, December 23rd, 2023. It was a hazy, foggy night with light snow on the ground. We had turned onto Farmersville, West Alexandria Ard off of Bullard in the outskirts of Farmersville, Ohio. We were cutting across to West Alexandria, Ohio, to go to my home in Eaton, Ohio, which is on the other side of West Alexandria. It was around 10:15 p.m. We had just climbed a small hill in her SUV. I was staring close out the windshield because it was very foggy on the back roads out in the middle of this country area. I was trying to watch for deer as she drove. We reached the top of the hill and I went to yell at my mother-in-law to stop because it looked like someone was crossing the road. My brain processed it as a very tall basketball player in height in the dark. Before I could open my mouth, she was already slamming on the brakes. She and I realized we were seeing the same thing. 2 steps to 3 steps as it was swinging his arms, and he was across both sides of the road at a very fast speed. It was gone, and over the hill to the other side. The area on the road where this was at, there was an electric fence on one side of the road, and on the side it crossed over it. There was an old red brick farmhouse with white out barns. My mother-in-law and her sister-in-law went back out there on Monday, December 26th, 2023, to see if they could find any evidence of footprints to validate what we had seen. They found footprints, one which measured at 18 in long, X 5 in across the toes, and 4 in at the heel. We have photos of these. We could not cast them. Some were on the other side of an electric fence in muddy water, and some were on an incline, so it would not cast, just run down it. Other witnesses. 2 witnesses, myself and my mother-in-law. Time and conditions. 10:15 p.m., foggy conditions at night with light snow. It was out in the country farms on either side. One, with an electric fence around it where we saw the creature come from in that direction, was a large cattle farm. The other side was a farm with a large planting field, and out barns on the other side of the road to the left of where the creature was. They have lots of chickens there. I spoke with both witnesses, Becky Schindler and her mother-in-law Phyllis Schindler. They are both very credible local residents. Becky is a stay-at-home mother. Phyllis is retired from working for the local school system. They both saw the same thing. The figure stood 7'8" feet tall and had jet black fur and big swinging arms. With just a few steps it crossed the foggy road from right to left as they headed north, roughly 3 to 4 car lengths in front of their vehicle. It was illuminated enough in the headlight for the witnesses to see it could only have been a Sasquatch. They were driving slowly because of the foggy conditions and because there are so many deer in the area that it is hazardous to drive fast on these farm roads at night. The location is important because although we have heard rumors of sightings in Ohio to the west side of Dayton over the years, we never received a very reliable Class A report until now. It was thought unlikely because there is continuous development, mostly homes, between Dayton and Cincinnati along the Interstate 75 corridor. Neither deer or Sasquatch would try to pass, though that wide swath of development night or day. There are no green belts or power line easements or railroad beds, avoiding towns that create a path for deer or Sasquatches to cross that wide swath of development. They would need to walk through several large and well-lit neighborhoods after dark. There are several reports on the east side of that I-75 swath of development, especially near or on the bike trail following the Little Miami River. But to reach the area where this 12/23/2023 incident occurred, a Sasquatch would need to make a big loop around Dayton to the north of Dayton Airport, or loop around Cincinnati on the south, crossing the Ohio River to the Kentucky side. The Dayton route is closer to both areas, but there are fewer tracts of trees to the north of Dayton, so less.
That one was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. So it was snowing, right?
It was snowing, and they talked about the arms moving, and they talked about taking 3 steps, almost similar to this other one.
Mm-hmm.
And they were driving slow because they know there's deer in that area.
Yeah.
But what really caught me on this one was the investigator talking about the development in the area and how there's still Bigfoot sightings in the area, but it had to cross a lot of well-lit areas. So it kind of, we used to get like reports like this with the TBRC, and Luke used to always tell us, like, think outside the box on this one. Think outside the box. Mm-hmm. So we would get some stories like this of a Bigfoot come into an area that it was well developed, and he would ask the question. He goes, why would a Bigfoot come in this area? That he'd always ask that question. Mm-hmm. And this one kind of reminds me of that one, because maybe this is like an older Bigfoot, and maybe you would have to do history on the area, like what was in that area before, like if there was a fish hatchery, or they used to do soybeans, or they had cattle there, or in this area that's now being developed, like, what was there before? Like, go back, some years, go back to the newspapers and the libraries and see what was in this area, because the only reason why I would think a Bigfoot would risk that much, like, visibility is because it's trying to see what, hey, maybe I'm going to go over this area and they used to grow cantaloupes. I'm going to go there and check it out. Or they used to have like really big fat pigs over there. I'm going to see if I can get a pig. So
it's a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood now. So like it risked the opportunity to go do that. And I thought it was kind of odd how they talked about electric fence. I didn't know it was a electric fence in this area.
Hope they didn't touch it. Like, damn. Now, here's the thing on this one. And I wanted to kind of plug this in to make it make sense. But I was going to ask, do you think Bigfoot or any kind of Bigfoot get abducted by aliens? Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because why did this Bigfoot like not keep track that this place was already developed?
I know where you're going with this.
Yep.
Okay. So like it got dropped off in this area?
It got dropped off, and it's like, okay, I'm back home. Let me go where I usually go. And then all of a sudden he's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Everything's changed.
Yeah.
There's people here. Where's the pond?
Yeah, because like most stories of UFO abductions, the UFO returns the people to the same spot.
Yep.
So maybe it abducted this Bigfoot at a certain time and brought it back when it was older or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Like maybe in his, because we don't know. God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen to any of us. You get abducted, and then to you, it feels like maybe a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Hours, maybe. You come back, it's actually years.
Years, yeah.
And you're all like, wait, what the hell?
That's interesting. Man, when I said think outside the box, you really did that. Man. Because I thought I was being clever and said, what was in the area?
Yeah.
Fish hatchery.
Yeah. Because, Bigfoot's, you and I both know they're fucking smart, especially if it's an older Bigfoot. They're smart. They know, they keep track of what is in the area. They always, they make it known too. If it's like the construction and they're building stuff, they get mad,
Yeah.
In this case, it didn't happen, and he comes back and he's all like, okay, let me go to my usual spot to get food. What the hell is this? Electric fence?
Yeah.
What? Like, it just makes me wonder, like, if this was this kind of scenario.
Because it's wintertime. And
It's wintertime.
snowing. Like what would make it risk going through the wintertime? And
the only thing I can think of is that, because I don't think it would risk anything unless it walked miles somewhere else,
right,
and then hung out there for a couple of years and then came back. I don't know. So
what I want to add also as well is that, you know, both of these stories of the crossing the road, they describe not seeing the Bigfoot's face. I'm not saying they didn't see the face, but they didn't describe it to the investigator, and he didn't document it. So
yeah.
So if it didn't see its face and it's crossing the road in 3 steps, it's obviously in a hurry to get through this area. Like you were saying about maybe trying to get back home. It got abducted and it wants to get, you know, where it needs to go to its, you know, its gang or its circle, or it's like its family, or its tribe.
You gotta realize they don't go off by dates.
No.
What day it is.
Yeah.
They go off by seasons.
It's Tuesday. Let's go look at it.
Yeah.
Let's go look at this dumpster over here.
Oh my God. And they go by, I guess, gravestones, and they see like the latest gravestone, like 2024.
Yeah.
2024, but I left in 1985. It's Michael J. Fox, Bigfoot.
Or it's Flight of the Navigator.
Or yeah. Yeah.
Making a lot of Disney references and time traveling references.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that was going to be our last story.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I didn't read any of these. I just picked them, and
So it was the first time you.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep. So I titled them on like the headline. What was it? Because the headline will say, you know, daylight crossing, sighting of a Bigfoot, or rocks, orbs, broken tree branch. Mm-hmm. So I just went off that. I said, I'm gonna pick that one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought
I think this is going to be my top 3 favorite crossroads sightings of a Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. The first one will be what I just talked about, the lady in a shock face. Is that the same one as Enya?
Enya, I'm not sure.
Where I was listening to Sail Away, Sail, and then it was in Mexico. Was it in Mexico?
It was Mexico, yeah. That was on Matt's.
Yeah, but I like that one because it stood out.
Yeah.
That one stood out, and then this one right here, it just if it's in like, it's no different from where we live at now.
Yeah.
Like, if a Bigfoot came through here, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
There's a 7-Eleven here? What the hell? They're making a McDonald's. I don't know why he sounds country.
I know he's like a country back.
Son of a bitch, 7-Eleven.
He's corn fed or something.
Supposed to be a cornfield right here. What the fuck?
Well, just so you know, I tried to reach out to that lady that had the Bigfoot sighting in Mexico, and she didn't want to come on. So she did Matt's show, and that's all she wanted to do.
Hey, that's good enough. Right
that's cool.
If she trusts Matt, who wouldn't trust Matt?
No, yeah, you're right. So she did reach out to me when we talked about that show.
Yeah.
And she was trying to correct me. I said, give me a break, dude.
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna correct it,
come on the fucking show.
Come on the show. Come on. Come on.
So
we're gonna do it like Arnold. Come on.
Anything you want to talk about before we get off?
I like the stories you picked. You really picked some good random ones.
Thanks, man.
Do it again next time.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Say.
I don't think that's the name. I don't think that's how the song goes. Yeah. No. Yeah, and then also, having a pet is a good. You have protection.
Yeah, and you get a gauge.
And you get a gauge. Now, you just got to be careful how that gauge is used. And always listen to little kids.
Yeah.
When they say, hey, there's someone in the room. Don't
say.
Little kids and dogs and cats, they're like good little security systems, little warnings.
I agree.
You know, because like you said, too, on the whole... when we're at Matt's, and you saw, what you saw there.
His grandma?
Yeah. Was it Shotzi?
Shotzi, yeah.
Shotzi was on you, right? Uh-huh. And he was the one that looked too.
Yep.
That was like a dead giveaway.
Yep. That's why I kind of it solidified it with me.
Yep.
Shotzi saw it. I think when I stood up, he jumped off me and he ran behind the TV.
He ran behind the TV?
Yeah.
But that was her dog, right?
Yeah, but I don't think was used to seeing her.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't run to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like whenever I stood up, he jumped off me, ran behind the TV. I went to the kitchen, and all the cabinets were open. So
yeah.
So that was kind of creepy, but it's Matt Grandma. So
did you say were you looking for something? Were you looking
I
for
know.
these? Yes.
She's looking for her cup for tea.
No. Were you looking for something? Pop-Tarts? That right here? Where's that from?
That's from Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
We're doing movie references now, so
I'm trying to drag on the episode. I don't even know how many.
We're at 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Officially at 1 minute.
Nice. But I think you can do something with this.
Yeah, I think so.
I think with your capabilities, you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I said it like that.
Hey, this room is really clean.
Yes, but it's real hot though.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sweating. Sweating, dude. Bigfoot Club for the peoples.
The Bigfoot Club sauna.
Yeah. Because we're cryptid sports entertainers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got to say it like that.
Entertainers.
I think for a while you didn't want to say that.
How
come?
It's not personal. It's just business. Does that make you happy?
It does. It does. That makes me really happy.
John hears it. He's like, yes, he said it. Hallelujah. Oh, we lost him.
Oh, Lord.
That was for you, John.
Yeah, John Broccoli.
Yep.
Broccoli. So, let me see if I got some sounds here.
Oh. Hey, perfect.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
How come I can't hear it?
What the hell?
Oh.
Can you hear it now?
Oh, yeah. Bigfoot Club in the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Season 78. Episode 78.
You have any shout-outs?
Shout out to B-Town Down.
B-Town Down.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Thanks for listening to us, B-Town. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Can't wait to get you on the show, man.
Simone.
It's only a matter of time.
Catch a tone.
It's only a matter of time, man.
Shout out to Kathy DeBueller, Robert R. Cuddy. Anybody else? Let me see here. My mom's, my brothers, my sister, Blair, the boys. I'm probably forgetting somebody. Caitlin, Candace,
Tommy
Two-Tone. Yeah, I started talking to Tommy Two-Tone this week. So
yeah,
that's kind of cool. Big Money Mike. Haven't talked to him in a while. I think that's about it.
Shout out to Mr. Robot.
Yeah, it's a good show, man. I told you it was a good show.
Yep.
So, did you already do a shout out? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's right. Okay. So I just wanted to thank everybody for listening to the show. And if you're one of our regulars, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. But if you're new to the show, thank you for picking us for your entertainment at this time. But if you're those people who don't subscribe and follow, this is probably a good time to hit that button and subscribe to follow us. So it really helps us out a lot. And reach out to us on our Facebook page, Bigfoot Club 1. And we're also on Instagram as Bigfoot Club 1, X, and TikTok. And if you have any questions, or if you want to critique the show, you want to comment about the show, you want to
we stole your artwork.
Yes, say we stole your artwork or something. Go to Bigfoot Club, the number 1 at gmail.com, and you can send us stories, or if you want to collaborate, or if you just want to just shoot us, see how we're doing, because we really I would love to read emails on this show. We don't get a lot of emails, and I get some every now and then, but it's usually like a DM or something. But I read Robert Cuddy's the other day, so that was kind of sweet. And Kathy DeBueller emails us regularly, but it's usually like personal stuff, and I don't want to read that out. Yeah. So just want to do a quick shout out also to Matt, Reginald Bartholomew Nappers, does Bigfoot Crossroads. So if you're all caught up with our show, go to his show, Bigfoot Crossroads, and listen to his show because he's got some good stuff over there. And I want to interview some of his people that he interviews, but at the same time, we kind of have our own niche as well. Mm-hmm. And so, but yeah, go to Bigfoot Club #1 on Facebook, join it, follow it, like it, comment on it, on whatever post that I do. And it really, really makes me happy to see it. Yep. So anyway, we'll just say good night and goodbye. Bang.